Hey, alright, so I figure my last video that I posted on this channel, which I didn't expect to really get any views at all, I actually got 23 views. So I thought, okay, I should post another video to this channel, see what happens. But the problem with that is, the whole reason that I started that channel was to complain about living in Ada, Oklahoma. The problem with that, I can't really complain about living in Ada, Oklahoma anymore, because I don't live in Ada, Oklahoma anymore. You see, I moved because I hated living in Ada, Oklahoma. So now I'm out here in a little town called Wauconda, Missouri, and it is definitely interesting living in a small town called Wauconda, Missouri. And when people say that it is a small town, they really do mean it's a small town. The population of the town that I live in is 310 people, according to the sign when you enter town. Now, the only problem with that is I don't know anybody in the town of Wauconda, Missouri. I know the person that I live with, my roommate. I know his best friend, who I guess in one way or another you could call my best friend. I don't know, she's really nice. But I don't really hardly know anybody else. I really don't even know much about this town, which is kind of why I'm out here walking around, but I figured while I was walking around, I could record my video to find things to complain about. The first thing that comes to mind when I think of things to complain about are trains. Let me explain that. There is a train track that is maybe 100 feet from the south wall of the house that I live in. Now, a lot of people would think, well, wouldn't that keep you up at night? Well, no. That's not the problem. I've slept through the trains. I don't know how, but I've slept through the trains. The problem is, on the south end, it's actually the southwest end of the house, is this tiny little room, and in that tiny little room, I've set up my sound studio, for my other channel. So, when I'm trying to record stuff in my sound studio for my other channel, I have trains. So it gets a little frustrating. Now, I thought that there was just one set of train tracks. But then I started noticing that a train would be going one direction 1 second, and then as soon as I noticed that that train is finished, there's another train going the other way. And I thought, okay, maybe I live right by a train, like turnaround, or a train, one of the little side roads where if you have trains go in the same direction, you can pull, one of the trains can pull off to the side and wait for it to leave and then pull back onto the tracks and go. So I thought, okay, maybe there's one of those not too far from here, but no. I realized something even more joyous. There are actually 2 sets of railroad tracks right by where I live. See? They're right here. These are the train tracks that run right along by my house. Yeah. And surprising to say, there is not a train coming down either side of it. Which, if it happened, would probably, prove my point of how annoying it can be that trains are running at all hours of the day and all hours of the night in this little town of Wauconda, Missouri. But the good part of living in Wauconda, Missouri is I am currently living in a house that I don't owe rent on. Wait, why am I telling the good parts about living in Wauconda, Missouri? That defeats the whole purpose of this channel. Okay, back to basics. This is the house that I live in right here. It's a nice little house. One of the problems with the house that... Well, okay, I shouldn't say one of the problems. There's not many problems with the house, aside from the fact that my sound studio is closest to the railroad tracks, and the railroad tracks run right next to the house. But the one problem that I've had since I've been living in this house is that there are bats that live in the attic. And I wasn't aware of this when I was told that I could come and stay here with my roommate. We were not, well, okay, he was aware. The house belongs to his family, so he knows a lot about the house, but he forgot to mention to me that, oh, by the way, there are bats that live in the attic. So I didn't know this at the time, and we were cleaning up. I don't know if you can see me. I'm trying to get a cigarette out. We were cleaning up our kitchen to try to get a stove. We were trying to make room for this stove, and in order to do this, I had to throw some boxes out the back door. Well, the back door is right by the opening for the attic. So, god dang, can't get a cigarette out. So, needless to say, I open the back door, throw the boxes out, and I turn around, and there's this little gray lump laying in the kitchen floor, and I'm thinking, oh, that looks like a rotted banana peel. So I hit it with the broom. It hissed at me. My first reaction, of course, was, what the hell is a banana peel doing hissing at me? But later come to find out, it wasn't a banana peel, it was a bat. I'm never going to be able to get a cigarette lit in this town. It's very cold out here. Don't know why I decided to do my video outside. Something about doing it inside just didn't seem to work for me, though. Figured I'd carry my camera around and just talk. Alright. And now there's a big dog. I'm not afraid of big dogs, but my roommate is. Oh my gosh, my roommate's afraid of big dogs. It's kind of funny. I shouldn't make fun of him, though. That's wrong. I'm not going to make fun of him. But I'm just trying to figure out if the dog is chained up. Because I'm trying to walk up this way towards the bar. And it's not chained up. I'm going to go back this way now. So, alright, so in my last video I was talking a little bit about losing my job over some random stupid stuff, and I talked about trying to maintain good relationships with the boss that hired me and all that stuff. At this point I am still unemployed, which sucks because I don't have any money to do anything, and I'm more than likely going to get my phone shut off pretty soon. But I'm hopeful because I put in a lot of job applications, and I was told that by the first of the year they would know if they were actually hiring or not, or a couple of them told me that they are hiring, they're just waiting until after the holidays. So I'm hopeful, but to finish up on that story, though, I told you I wasn't fighting for my job back, so I obviously didn't get my job back, but I did go down and meet with the boss that hired me, and from what our conversation turned out like, it seems that a positive relationship was, well, I shouldn't say relationship, that just makes it sound really, really, really wrong. Okay, wait. Let me think about what I want to say, because these are not scripted out. And the dog is walking towards me now. I was able to retain a positive job reference. Let me put it that way. I actually called him up the other day because I had went down and talked to him before I moved up to Missouri and asked him about, leaving on good terms, wanting to make sure that everything was understood. He said, yeah, it's good. I actually called him up the other day because I was going to apply at a company, or at a restaurant that was owned, or what I thought was owned by the same company, but as it turns out it was a franchise store, so it really didn't matter, but it's still the same business, it's the same job, so I figured I'd, better, make sure that it's okay if they call him. So I called him up, and, everything's still good, and I'm not worried about anything. So, I guess that's working in my favor. I'm not really sure what to talk about on this video. In the other video I had a lot more stuff to talk about. And if I had recorded another video before I left Ada, I also had a lot more stuff to talk about, like a random horse in somebody's front yard. But I'm pretty sure I covered that in the last video, because that was quite a while ago. The one thing that I didn't cover in the last video, though, was right before I left Ada, I received a thing in the mail. It was a roofing advertisement, and I don't have it with me anymore, so I can't actually show it on the camera. But it was a roofing advertisement, and the roofing advertisement said, "Is your house safe?" Or, yeah, on one side it had the information, on the other side it had a picture. It said, "Is your house safe?" And it shows in the picture a UFO flying over a house and tearing its roof off. And I thought, okay, only in a small town in southern Oklahoma are you going to find a business that advertises their product with UFOs. So I thought that would be pretty funny to talk about, so here I am talking about it. Like I said, I don't have the advertisement anymore. I would show it, But stepped in a hole. Well, yep. Wycombe, Missouri is kind of small. One of these days, I will take my camera out and I'll walk around the town and show you the entire town, because I can do that in 10 minutes. But not today, though, because it's cold and my hand is already frozen to the camera handle thing, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just trying to stay around the area where I live. Yeah. But, you know, and I'm really surprised the train hasn't gone by, because, I mean, literally a train will go by every 5 minutes, and I was kind of hoping one would go by to prove my whole point of the video, but I guess that's not going to happen. Kind of sucks. Doesn't seem to be working in my favor. Nothing really seems to work in my favor anymore, but I'm not complaining, because I have, I have things to keep me occupied. I have a couple of YouTube channels. I have a demo album project I've been working on, which, going back to the beginning of the video, my sound studio is right by a train track, so getting a lot done isn't really an option. My cigarette went out. It's been doing that to me a lot today. Same problem I had before. I don't want to walk up between the trucks again. That was kind of weird. I kind of felt like someone was going to get out of the trucks, like they were sleeping in the truck, and they're going to get up and come and get onto me for trying to light a cigarette by the truck. That'd be funny. I would laugh hysterically. I think that would just be amazing. Alright, we're good now. Oh, I almost forgot. We started tearing up tiling out of our house. See? Yeah, fun little project, because the tiling was layered. But if you'll remind me, I'll talk about that in the next video, because I believe I'm out of time. So, subscribe and stuff.